Let's talk about a question that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it's becoming very, very real. Pi Network's founder Chendial Fan put it perfectly. We're all looking at a future where AI can do pretty much any job, and that leaves us with one massive problem.
How are we all going to get paid? You know, for generations, the whole deal has been pretty simple, right? You work, and for that work, you get a slice of the economic pie. But what happens when that pie is baked almost entirely by machines? This goes way beyond just losing jobs. It's about the very foundation of how we distribute wealth across society.
For centuries, human labor has been the main way we've done this. It's the primary channel for getting the wealth a society creates into the hands of its people. But now with AI taking over more and more production, that channel is getting seriously clogged. We're staring down a future with just incredible wealth creation, but no obvious way to share it. So how do we build a new system?
Well, this is where blockchain's real, ultimate potential snaps into focus. Seriously, forget all the hype and speculation for just a second. At its absolute core, a blockchain is just a shared, trustworthy ledger, an accounting book. And that's exactly what you need to build a new distribution system. One that can scale, one that anyone can access, and one that's totally transparent and auditable. The real utility here isn't about creating digital gold. It's about creating a fair way to distribute all the abundance that AI is going to create.
Okay, so you might be thinking, isn't crypto already doing this? It's all about distributing tokens. But not so fast. The current crypto world has a really fundamental problem. For all its talk about changing the world, a huge chunk of it is stuck in what you could call a value trap. It's gotten really good at moving wealth around, but not so good at creating it.
And this slide really breaks it down. You've got two completely different models of play. Over on the left, there's value extraction. The easiest way to think about this is like slicing up a pizza. It's a zero-sum game. For my slice to get bigger, your slice has to get smaller. Then on the right, you have value creation. This is about baking more pizzas. The whole pie gets bigger for everyone. That's a positive-sum game. And if we're being honest, so much of the crypto world today is running on extraction. Just think about it, right? Meme coins get their value from speculative hype. Basically, moving money from people who get in late to people who got in early. NFTs are often just flipped for a quick profit without creating any new, lasting value. These things aren't creating new wealth. They're just really efficient ways of reallocating it. And this really forces a critical question for the entire industry. I mean, if the culture constantly rewards these super short-term extractive plays, who's going to be left to do the actual hard work? Building something with real, genuine utility is tough. It takes a long time. And that temptation of fast money can pull all the talent and resources away from the meaningful work the space so desperately needs. So it's pretty clear. If blockchain is ever going to live up to its incredible promise, there has to be a fundamental shift. The entire industry needs to pivot. We have to move from an economy that's obsessed with liquidity and speculation to one that's built on tangible, real-world utility. And this isn't just a suggestion. It's absolutely essential for long-term survival.
So how do we get there? Well, according to Fan, there are really two main paths forward to create this utility. Path number one is about bringing the old world into the new, moving existing real-world assets and businesses on-chain. Path two is way more radical. It's about creating entirely new kinds of value, new kinds of production that could only ever exist on-chain.
Now, that first path sounds promising, but it is loaded with challenges. You immediately get tangled up in all the existing regulations. You have to convince these massive traditional industries to completely change how they operate. And frankly, a lot of the value from those assets is already captured by systems that exist off-chain. It's a tough road.
And that's exactly why that second path, creating something totally new on-chain, is so incredibly powerful. And it's the big bet that Pi Network is making. They have a really clear strategy designed to spark this new wave of on-chain value creation. The first part of that strategy is just massive, massive scale. Pi has built a community of over 60 million people. And let's be clear, these aren't just passive app downloads. This is a genuinely engaged social network of users, which creates a huge built-in audience for anything new. And here's the kicker. Inside that giant community, over 15 million people have completed identity verification, or KYC. This is a huge deal. Why? Because it means the network is ready for real-world financial applications, the kind of stuff that requires knowing for sure that you're dealing with a real, unique person. So why go to all the trouble of building this massive verified network? It's all about solving what developers called the cold start problem.
every new app, every new business needs users to get off the ground. By providing this massive, ready-made community, Pi gives builders a place to test ideas, get instant feedback, and find their first customers from day one.
Okay, so the second part of the strategy is all about making it easier for people to actually build. They've launched an app studio that lets pretty much anyone, even if you have zero coding skills, use AI to build and launch an online business right on the blockchain. You can think of it like a Shopify for the new decentralized internet.
And this brings us full circle, doesn't it? Right back to that first big question. This strategy opens the door to a whole new economic model. Instead of a future where humans are just working for wages from giant AI-powered corporations, this creates a world where humans can own and run their own AI-powered businesses. The value created by AI flows directly to individuals, not just a handful of companies.
So at the end of the day, this is the choice that the entire crypto space is facing. Is its future going to be defined by building real, sustainable utility that could actually reshape our economy? Or are we just going to get lost in the noise of the next inevitable hype cycle? The path we choose won't just define the future of crypto. It could help answer how all of us can thrive in a world that's increasingly powered by AI.